98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian Kennedy.
Now, next, a text came into the show just at the end of the show yesterday morning, so we didn't get time to address it. But it sparked a debate among us. It's all to do with dog owners letting their dogs off leads when out walking them and whether or not it's wrong to do it. Now, I'm not talking about restricted breeds. I'm just talking about dogs. Little small dogs, big dogs, angry dogs, happy dogs. Joanne sent this message to us and I want you to have a listen to this. Can you announce on your show to dog owners to keep their bloody dogs on leads? I'm out with my little girl and we've just been to Tymon Park and it's full of dogs off their leads. I can't let her play in a park with dogs running around. Same thing happened on Killiney Beach yesterday. Don't take your dogs out if you can't keep them on a lead. And that's from a lady called Joanne. And I'd love to hear from you on this, on 6797981. She obviously feels that it's dangerous for dog owners to have their dogs off a lead in a public place, especially if there are children running around. And I want to find out whether or not you think she is overreacting. Do you let your dog off the lead in a public place? Or maybe you feel that on-the-spot fines should be issued to dog owners who do this. After all, how can a child play in football in a park if there are several dogs running around with no control? Some children are terrified of dogs, are afraid of dogs. Some adults are afraid of dogs as well. Is it fair to other users of parks and beaches and whatever to be bringing your dog running off the lead in a public place? Here's the reality of it. You are not meant to have your dog off a lead in a public place. When you have your dog out in public, you are meant to have it on a lead. And I'd love to hear from you on this on 6797981. You can text or WhatsApp the programme on 0877 98 98 98. Are you somebody who, when you're out walking, lets the dog off the lead, regardless of who else is around? Because for all I know, and she didn't say this, but for all I know, this lady's child might be terrified of dogs. Because I do know children that are afraid of dogs. Adam, you're on Dublin's 98FM. How are you, Adam?
How's it going, Adrian?
Good, thanks, Adam. Good to talk to you. Adam, you don't see what the big deal is here.
I don't see what the big deal is. Like, people buy dogs as puppies and they just treat them as puppies and just leave them at that. They don't train them and they don't do anything for the dog. Every house that has a dog needs a pack leader. Someone in the house has to be above the dog, and that's the end of it. If you are the pack leader, the dog won't disrespect you at all. If you have total control over your dog, the dog won't disrespect you at all. Regardless if it's a Jack Russell or a Rottweiler, it's the exact same thing. A dog needs loyalty, discipline, rules and boundaries. That's what a dog needs. And if you have that with your dog won't disrespect you. He will walk right beside you regardless where you are going. Mm-hmm. If other dogs are running around, if there's kids running around, the dog will not leave your side unless you tell it to.
And that's for people who... I assume you have dogs, Adam, do you?
I've talked to you a few times on the show about dogs. Every time you talk about dogs, I always send in a text.
Right, okay, so dogs is your thing.
I have 2 Rottweilers and a Husky. I trained dogs the last 8 years, part-time I do as well. Okay,
now, do you bring your dogs out? So you have a Husky and what else?
A Rottweiler.
And a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
So if you went for a walk today, I don't know, in the Phoenix Park or tomorrow in the Phoenix Park, will you have those 2 dogs, by the way, one of which is on the restricted breeds list?
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I've talked to you about this a few weeks ago about this.
I do vaguely remember that, yeah. So you will allow your dog to run 100%. Around the Phoenix Park without a lead on?
My dogs would not run anywhere without my permission. If I get to a dog park, the first thing you do before you even take your dog out of the car is you have to calm your dog down. Which means when you calm the dog down and he's completely relaxed, then you let the dog out of the car. The dog will be calm and submissive. It will just walk around like nothing. So if you get the dog park and you turn around to your dog and go, "You ready? Go dog park, that dog will go fucking mental. Sorry.
Mind the
That
language
dog
there,
will
come
go
on.
mental in his head. He's just happy. And then when you let him out, he's just on a leg it he is. But if you have total control over your dog, you're dominant over your dog, and the dog respects you, the dog will not walk 5 feet away from you unless you tell it to.
And again, that's brilliant that you're a good dog owner.
That's not just me, Adrian. If you buy a dog, they're your responsibility to do that. It's your responsibility, regardless if it's a Jack Russell or a Rottweiler. It's your responsibility to train your dog from A to Z. Everybody thinks, oh, just buy a dog and just leave it there in the house. Like, he's great company. The dog still needs rules, boundaries, and discipline. 100%, regardless what dog it is. If you just have a Jack Russell in the house and he's just there keeping you company, that dog's head is melted just being in that house all the time.
Okay, but we have at home 2 dogs, right? One of them, you could walk from here to Cork and he'd walk right beside you. He'd never leave your side, okay?
Yeah, because he has respect for you.
Yeah, and that's whatever it is. Yeah. But the other dog is the most difficult. No matter what we've tried to do with her, if you were to take her off the lead, she'd be gone. She's
Adrian,
gone, right?
I could fix that for you in the space of 5 minutes.
But we've tried everything. Everything.
Well, you haven't tried everything, because I could fix that dog for you in the space of 5 minutes. And I wouldn't even open my mouth, and I wouldn't even shout at the dog. I could fix that for you in 5 minutes flat. Not a problem.
I'd love to see how, because like I said, we've tried. But anyway, you believe if a dog is properly trained, it doesn't need to be on the lead?
If it's properly trained, and as I said, a dog needs rules, boundaries and limitations. It needs to know what it can do and what it cannot do. As soon as my dogs come off the lead, my dog will stand beside me. And I will walk. My dog is not allowed to walk 2 steps in front of me. The 2 dogs aren't allowed to walk 2 steps in front of me. They have to be level with me the whole time, because you're leading them. If they're in front of you, they're leading you, which turns you into a follower. You have to be a pack leader.
Okay, all right, stay there for 1 second. 6797 981 is our telephone number. Text or WhatsApp us on 0877 98 98 98. 0877 98 98 98. Noel, you're on 98 FM. How are you, Noel?
Not too bad, Adrian. Lovely day out there.
It has been a lovely day. We had Tymon Park was mentioned by this lady earlier on.
Park, yeah. I'm down in Tymon Park nearly every second day.
Right.
And there's 2 collies down there. There's a chap has these 2 collies. And they run up and down like mad beside the lake, where the kids go down to feed the swans and so forth. You can't throw bread to them now anymore. You've got to bring, by the way, the signs up everywhere now where the swans and ducks are. You've got to bring special food for the ducks. You can't throw ordinary bread in or ordinary food into them. But the dog situation, they fly up and down there every day. Now, they run over the kids. I'm not saying they're going to bite kids, but they run over the kids. And some kids are not very happy with a dog running over to you. And they get frightened. But this man, he's a grey-haired man. He's in around the age of 48. And he's down there every single day with the dogs, flying around the park. Now, he's not on his own. There's a few more. And I don't agree that a dog should be let loose anywhere.
Now, you've heard Adam, who thinks the exact opposite. His dogs are well enough trained that they won't move more than 5 feet from him. I have one dog who's well trained. He won't go more than 5 feet from you. But because we have the other one that's a little brat, we have them both on a lead anytime we're out.
Right. Yeah.
But you don't think
there's... Adam is a miracle worker altogether.
Well, there you are, Adam. You're a miracle worker.
He's got to be a miracle worker. If he's going to take your dog off you for 5 minutes and put it right.
For 5 minutes, I'll do it.
That's a miracle worker. Adam, you must be saying prayers over the dog's ears or something like that. But
no, because I've been training dogs the last 8 years.
Well, I've been breeding dogs for years, and there's no way
dogs
that
and training dogs is completely different. You don't train them. I train them.
Yeah, well, listen, Adam, if you can turn a dog around in 5 minutes, you'll be worth a fortune.
What Adrian said there is his dog goes mad. I could fix that in 5 minutes. Without fact, it's absolute fact. I could fix that in 5 minutes.
Well, when I heard you saying that you're going to fix that in 5 minutes, I was thinking of the boot, as you know what I mean.
As I said to Adrian there, I won't open my mouth to the dog, and I will not scream at the dog. I will not hit the dog. I will show the dog how to follow me, and that is it, Adrian. I can fix your dog for you, and you can tell everyone what I
Adrian,
did.
take that up, please, and come back to us on it, please.
Okay, you can fix my dog, and Yeah, well, I tell you one thing, I'm very interested in taking you up on that, Adam, because...
Adrian, absolutely no. I won't even charge you. Absolutely no problem.
But this is a dog now. This is a dog who chases airplanes, for God's sake.
It does not matter.
That's the God's honest truth, Noel. We live close to the airport, and this little brat runs around chasing every bloody plane that takes off from Dublin Airport. That's not a word of a lie.
Because he's been told not to do that before. When he's out the back garden, he sees a plane, he starts barking. What do? You probably just stand there looking.
Well, as I say, Adrian, like humans, we're all made different, you know.
Okay, stay there for 1 second. Noel, you don't think there's any excuse for allowing a dog off a lead in a public place?
No excuse whatsoever.
Okay, stay there
park, in any street, in any way. A dog should be always on a lead.
Okay, stay there for a second, Noel. Lindsay, you're on Dublin's 98FM. St Anne's Park, what happened?
Oh, hiya. My 7-year-old son was kicking his ball around and a large dog ran at him and took the ball, burst it and ran off, and the owner didn't say anything. He just let the dog play with the ball, and that was the end of it. Right. He didn't see any problem with it. He didn't say sorry. He didn't come over.
And did he bite the ball?
He ran at my son and bit the ball, burst it. It was a leather football. And then took it and ran over, and the owner...
So your man didn't even apologise for that?
No.
Didn't apologise for bursting the ball?
No. And my son is afraid of dogs anyway. And it was a big dog, and he came running at him. And
what sort of a dog was it?
It was he was like a white... It wasn't a Labrador. It was more of a hairier dog. I'm not sure the type of dog now.
Right.
I don't know if he was going to bite... like him, or he just wanted the ball, I'd say. But still, he took the ball, burst it, ran back. The owner didn't even call the dog away. The dog stayed for a couple of minutes.
Well, let me ask you, Adam, who brings his dog out without a lead, his 2 dogs, would they ever run off on you? Would they ever go over and grab a child's ball?
Adrian, you could walk in front of me with a stake and the dog would not move by my side until he's told it. A dog needs rules, boundaries and limitations. She's saying there's some dog just ran over and got the ball. That dog hasn't been trained. The dog hasn't been trained. That's it. It has no respect for the owner. So it goes off into the park and does whatever it wants. As I said, I'll say it again. Rules, boundaries, limitations. Every single dog needs it. From a Jack Russell to a Rottweiler. They all have the same brain. They all need to be treated that way. They all need a pack leader and they all need to follow. If the dog doesn't follow you, then you follow the dog. Same way if a dog stays in your house and the dog just keeps barking and barking, that dog doesn't live with you. You live with that dog. That's that dog's house completely. So, anytime I hear someone saying, "Oh, the dog did this, dog did that," that's his personality. It's not his personality. It's because he disrespects you. You're not the pack leader. He doesn't trust you and he doesn't respect you. Simple as that. So when I see dogs running up and down fields and the owners chasing them with their lead,
you're saying that your dogs won't go near. I would assume that the owner of the dog that Lindsay is talking about also would
train the dog. Didn't train the dog.
But they probably think their dog is a little angel.
Exactly. People think little small dogs as well. My little Jack Russell wouldn't bite you, but you go over to him the thing and try to bite the fingers off you. Dog has no rules, boundaries and limitations. That's what it is, Adrian. The dog just does not respect you. I see people chasing their dog up and down the road with the lead and they're like, the dog just won't come to me. I said, give me your lead, I'll get your dog. Within 2 minutes that dog is straight over to me because he sees an authority figure and someone who is actually a leader. If you get what I mean, you need to be a pack leader with any dog. Regardless what size or shape or what breed it is, you need to be a pack leader with your dog. If the dog doesn't respect you, then it's more it's like trying to train a cat.
Let me read a message. I'm going to try and get this person on. And the message says, please, please, do not use dominance method of training for your dog. It is not the way to train a dog. While he says he can train your dog in 5 minutes, I would question his methods. Well, hang on, just listen. Just hang on for 1 second. I'm a qualified, certified dog trainer, and I would be honest in saying it would take more than 5 minutes. Because your dog is having an emotional response to whatever is scaring her, that has to be addressed to help her be confident in her surroundings and environment.
What's scared in your dog?
The airplanes.
It's scaring your dogs.
Well, she
The
loses
dog's
her...
just getting excited when it sees the airplanes because it's never been told not to be excited.
But she
when it
has
sees
been
the
told not to
airplane.
be. She has been told
Yeah,
not to
but
be.
you need to say it and then follow through on it. There's no point in going, and then the dog stops, and then the next plane that goes over, it starts again.
Colette, you're on 98FM. Hi, Colette.
Hiya, how you doing?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, I believe to keep the dogs on the leads in the park.
Now, and what do you say to dog owners, of which there are many, who don't?
Yeah, well, I have a 2-week-old granddaughter, and I was walking her through the park, the early mornings, just for a little half an hour walk with her.
Yeah.
And I had a big Alsatian jumped up on the pram with me.
You had a big what?
An Alsatian jumped up on the pram while I was walking through the park.
Now, you actually have one of them, Adam.
I have a Rottweiler and a Husky.
Oh, sorry, a Rottweiler. Sorry, I thought it was
but
a German
it doesn't matter
Shepherd.
what dog it is. The dog, as I said, it could be a Jack Russell, it could be anything. That dog's not training at all. That's the only reason why it's going on with jumping up on anybody.
But jumping up on a 2-week-old baby in a pram?
It doesn't matter if it's an 8-year-old.
Hello, that's my baby.
I'm not getting smart with you. I'm just.
I know, but I'm saying the man didn't even apologise to me, and all he said he just gets excited when he sees baby prams.
Yeah, but that's him. Then that dog should be on the lead because he doesn't have that dog's not trained properly. Simple fact is that the dog is
But
trained
you see,
properly. The dog wouldn't
all
do
dog
that.
owners, Adam, probably think their dog is trained properly.
Yeah, but no, that's as I said to you, people buy dogs and then just leave them in the house, and the dog barks and like mental, and everyone says, "Oh, that's his personality." It's not.
What they should do is actually they should have a little park sealed off for dogs, like
So,
they have in America,
So, Colette,
like a little dog park.
sorry, Colette, where were you when this happened?
This was in the Tymon Park.
In Tymon Park as well?
Yeah.
Jesus, must be riddled with dogs running around the place by the sounds of it. So, there you were, you're going through Tymon Park, you have a little two-week-old in the pram, and...
I was going for a half an hour walk before that big sun, you know what I mean, did a half an hour walk.
And what sort of a dog was it?
It was an Alsatian.
And the dog jumped up on the pram.
Just jumped up on the pram. I nearly got a fight. Only for a man behind me gave her a boo. That baby would have been gone.
And obviously he didn't go near the baby.
He had his paws in the pram. I
in the
screamed,
pram, Jesus.
and the man was walking behind me, and he just gave that dog some boo. And I didn't even get an apologise off the owner. All she said was, "Oh, he gets excited when he sees prams."
All right, stay there for 1 second. That's unbelievable, that is. Because, Adam, let's face it, that wouldn't have happened if that dog had been on a lead.
There you go. No, that wouldn't have happened if the dog was properly trained. Dog's not trained properly. The dog's just going to...
All right, hang on there. Una, you're on 98FM. How are you, Una?
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
We're talking about the amount of dog owners who don't see the need to put their dogs on a lead. We've Alsatians attacking babies and prams. What's your feeling on this?
My opinion was I have a little Westie and I went to the local park here in Blanchardstown full of dogs in as usual. There was this dog came out of nowhere, took my dog, I was like a big wolf, this dog, a huge big dog, took my dog by the neck and rattled him like a rag doll in his mouth.
And what sort of a dog was he?
My dog.
No, the other dog.
It was like a German Shepherd.
Right, like a German Shepherd or an Alsatian,
Yeah,
an Alsatian
dog,
as they're also called.
I got my dog, Aidan, hold him. I had my dog in the lead and I couldn't go near this dog in case he attacked me. And I tried to pull the dog off, but of course I was afraid. The dog had him in his mouth, rattled him like...
And what sort of a dog do you have?
A little Westie.
Oh, a little Westie. Okay, so you didn't stand a chance against this big
yoke.
yoke.
Aidan, he's like a rag doll in this dog's mouth. And I was screaming. Want to hear me? Do you know what, Aidan? I'm terrified to even go back into that park with my dog.
And
That's how frightened I am.
And which park was this?
It was a Millennium Park there in Blanchardstown.
Oh, right, yeah, I know
park.
it. Yeah, the Millennium Park, yeah.
Yeah. And lucky enough, there was a Blue Cross there at the time, and I had to rush him to the Blue Cross. He had to get tetanus injection. And everyone seeing the state of my dog. Now, I'm frightened even talking about it. There was a queue for the Blue Cross, and they all said, "Oh, my God." So they let me go through, of course, and you see the state of my dog. Now, my sister was disgusted with it, so she went to the park attendant, and now they have a sign up in the park, all the list of all the dogs that has to be leaded.
Yes, and in public parks, they're meant to be on a lead.
Yeah, well, this dog wasn't, Aidan, and
shaking even thinking about it now, what happened back to my dog. He's scared he was for like that dog.
That's awful, that is. And did he have to get stitches or anything?
I think he had papers, yeah, they had stitches, and he had to get he wanted to see his back. It's like a big gash.
And
the dog had him in his mouth.
Okay, we were talking about Tymon Park there a while ago, and sorry, this park again was which park?
In Blanchardstown, the Millen Park, the main park.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Okay, stay there for a second. Where am I going now? Pam, you're on 98FM. How are you, Pam?
Hi, Adrian. Good morning.
Good morning, Pam. How are you?
How are you? Listen, all the other callers have said exactly what I wanted to say. It's a public park. It's not a dog's park, Adrian. I had 2 experiences where our little Shih Tzu, my daughter's, was being attacked by a big Alsatian, and he was off the lead, and she was, a little Shih Tzu. And when my daughter said, your dog should be on the lead, I mean, the abuse. Now, she was one of those, the abuse my daughter we got for giving out to this one with her dog, like a big wolf. That's not on, Adrian. And then my little granddaughter that's 5, she's absolutely terrified. We're trying to get her to get used to animals. I mean, we shouldn't have that worry of a little dog on the lead and a little girl at 5. She's not. That's not. I better not say my granddaughter's name. Well, she's Amelia. She is terrified. I mean, she wouldn't be so terrified if the dog was on the lead. I mean, we're training her to go over and pat the dog, and dogs are nice and be friendly with the dog. But dogs shouldn't be off. It's a public park. It's not a dog's park, Adrian. And it angers me when I hear it. And that tick as well, too. It's not. He doesn't own the park, Adrian.
Okay, what do you say to that, Adam? You and other owners like you who bring your dogs out without a lead, you don't own the park. It's a public park.
I know I don't own the park, but if I didn't think that you weren't trained.
Yeah, okay. How do you get the message across to other dog owners? You're dog owner of the year, the way you're going on. How do you get the message to others who clearly aren't? You heard about dogs attacking babies in prams, and it's just, if they were on a lead, these things wouldn't be happening. Well, Adam.
Sorry, you can hear me there?
Yeah, how do you get the message across to other dog owners who aren't as brilliant as you that you have to have your dog on a lead?
Then don't buy a dog. Simple as that. If you're going to buy a dog, you need to put in the time and effort for the dog. You need to train it properly. You don't just buy a dog to have it there in the house and look at it. Oh, he's grand, he just keeps me company. The dog needs rules, boundaries and limitations. I'm not saying that about 50
Okay, but let me read this message. Can you tell that guy who trains dogs, all respect to him, but not all dogs are trained by their owners, and it's not acceptable
that's the owners. That's the owner's fault.
That they jump on prams and scare kids.
All the owners. Nothing to do with the dog at all. All to do with the owners.
Okay, but hang on. There's thousands of dogs out there, and they're not all trained, and it can't be controlled because there's no law which makes the owners train their dogs. In other words, dogs should be on a lead. End of.
If you're on a lead because it runs off and goes mental, you shouldn't have a dog. Simple as that. Adrian, I need to shoot off here.
All right, go on. Good luck. Thanks for...
You have my number there. If you want me to come in and sort your dog out, no problem. Let me know, and then you can tell all the listeners exactly what the story is.
I'd be fascinated to see how you do that, Adam. Yeah, we have your number. I might give you a call later on. Fair play.
No problem.
Good man. Thanks, Adam. I'd be fascinated to see what he can actually do with our dog who runs off chasing airplanes around the back garden. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this, young one. I must get a video, actually, and put it up on Facebook. I've my dog off the lead all the time. This conversation is making my blood boil, says that message. I completely agree with Adam. Dogs need to know who's in charge, or else they will run wild. Like a child, they need to be shown between right and wrong. It is not fair for dogs to be tied up on leads all the time. They should be allowed to run around. If a dog is trained properly, yes, of course, they shouldn't be on a lead. And one last call. Peter, you're on 98FM. How are you, Peter?
I'm good, thanks.
Very quickly, Peter, what did you want to say?
No, I just completely agree with the dog trainer guy. It's this kind of trend that we have going around now that people don't take responsibility and they just think that I'm going to get this for the sake of getting it. You're kind of seeing the same trend where parents are expecting schools to educate children instead of them looking after their own kids. And you can now see kids literally on leads going around town. And is that not the same problem?
Yeah, maybe so. So this is all down to dog owner responsibility. And somebody like Adam, I think it sounds great what he does, and if he could train my little mutt, then fantastic. Anyway, look, I'm sorry to cut across you, Peter. I'm way out of time. And thank you, all of you, for your calls. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
98FM. The sound of the city.
98FM's Dublin Talks. Weekdays from 10 a.m.
With Adrian